For millennia, humans have looked up at the stars and wondered, where is the center of the universe? It seems like a simple idea. After all, everything around us has a center. A planet, a star, even our galaxy. So shouldn't the universe? But the deeper we look into space and time, the more we realize how flawed this question might be. In this episode of Orbum, we'll take you on an extraordinary journey, not across light years or through distant galaxies, but into the very fabric of reality itself. We'll explore what it means to talk about center in a place where space can stretch, time can bend, and even our own perception shapes how we understand the cosmos. This isn't just a story about science. It's a story about how we see ourselves in the grandest picture of all. Let's begin with the basics. When most people think about the universe, they imagine it as something like a planet or a star, a spherical object with a clear center. But the universe isn't like that. It's not a ball floating in space. It is space itself. So how do we even define a center when talking about something that might be infinite? To answer that, we need to go back, all the way to the beginning of everything. Thousands of years ago, humans believed Earth was the center of everything. This idea made sense based on daily observations. The sun rose in the east and set in the west. The stars moved in predictable patterns across the sky, and nothing seemed to move faster than us. This belief formed the foundation of many ancient cosmologies, from Babylonian astronomy to Ptolemaic models of the heavens. It wasn't until the Renaissance that this idea began to crack. Copernicus proposed that the sun, not Earth, was at the center of the solar system. Galileo's telescope confirmed moons orbiting Jupiter, proving not everything revolved around Earth. Newton showed how gravity governed planetary motion. Suddenly, humanity realized we weren't special. We were just another planet orbiting a typical star in a vast cosmic sea. Our sense of centrality had been shattered, and yet, we still searched for a center. As telescopes improved, astronomers discovered that the Milky Way wasn't the entire universe, just one of billions of galaxies scattered across the void. Each galaxy contains hundreds of billions of stars, and each one is moving away from us. The deeper we looked, the more we understood. Our place in the universe was shrinking. We weren't the center of the solar system, the galaxy, or even local clusters of galaxies. So where was the center? That question took a dramatic turn in the early 20th century. In 1929, astronomer Edwin Hubble made a discovery that changed everything. By observing distant galaxies and measuring their light, he found that almost all of them were moving away from us, and the further they were, the faster they receded. This led to a revolutionary conclusion. The universe is expanding, which means logically that it must have had a beginning, and possibly a point from which everything started spreading out. That moment became known as the Big Bang, the birth of space, time, and matter itself. And so came the next big question. Was the Big Bang the center of the universe? Well, not exactly. Imagine blowing up a balloon. Draw dots on its surface. As the balloon inflates, every dot moves away from every other dot. No single dot is the center. Expansion happens everywhere. That's how our universe works. There's no central point in space that everything is moving away from. Instead, space itself is stretching, carrying galaxies along. So if you're standing on any galaxy, everything else seems to be moving away from you, making it feel like you're at the center, but you're not. Everyone sees themselves at the center. That's the paradox of cosmic expansion. Now let's get into the tricky part. What does it even mean to talk about a center of the universe? Centers usually exist in objects with defined boundaries, like a circle, a sphere, or a room. But the universe may have none of these. Our best observations suggest the universe is flat, or nearly flat, meaning it either goes on forever or curves in such a way that there is no geometric center. Even the Big Bang didn't happen at a specific location. It happened everywhere at once. Space didn't expand into something. It expanded from within. There was no outside. So, in a very real sense, every point in the universe is the center, and none of them are. That might sound contradictory, but that's the nature of deep space cosmology. It challenges not only our scientific models, but also our deepest intuitions. If we can't find a center to the whole universe, maybe we should look closer. There's a concept called the observable universe, the part of space we can see, limited by the speed of light and the age of the universe. Because light takes time to travel, the observable universe is like a giant bubble around us, stretching about 93 billion light-years across. Within this bubble, we can observe galaxies, stars, black holes, cosmic background radiation, all remnants of the Big Bang. And here's the kicker. From our perspective, we are at the center of the observable universe. Not because we're special, but because we're doing the observing. Every observer in every galaxy would see themselves at the center of their own observable universe. It's a natural consequence of how light travels through an expanding cosmos. So, in a way, everyone has their own personal center. But that's not the same as saying there's a universal center, something that exists independently of observers. Now, here's where things get really strange. We don't know how big the universe is beyond the observable bubble. It could be infinite, or it could wrap around on itself in ways we can't yet understand. Some theories suggest the universe is finite but unbounded, like the surface of a sphere. If you traveled far enough in one direction, you'd eventually come back to your starting point, without ever reaching an edge. Others propose that the universe is part of a multiverse, a collection of countless universes, each with different laws of physics. If that's true, then asking for the center of our universe is like asking for the center of a drop of water in the ocean. It exists, but it doesn't mean much in the grand scheme. So again, where is the center? Maybe the question itself is flawed. One of the strongest pieces of evidence for the Big Bang is the cosmic microwave background, CMB, the afterglow of the universe's earliest moments. This faint glow fills the entire sky, and it's remarkably uniform. Tiny temperature fluctuations reveal the seeds of galaxies, stars, and planets. But here's the thing. The CMB comes from all directions equally. No matter where you point your telescope, you'll detect this ancient light, coming from a time when the universe was just 380,000 years old. This supports the idea that the universe looks the same in all directions, at least on large scales. So again, there's no preferred center, just endless expansion. Why do we care so much about finding a center? It might be because humans evolved in environments with edges and centers, forests, caves, villages, so we naturally expect the universe to follow the same logic. But the universe doesn't owe us simplicity, it owes us truth. And sometimes, truth is strange. So if the universe is infinite, it has no center. If it's curved in higher dimensions, it might loop around, again with no center. And if it's just one bubble in a multiverse, then our universe might not even be self-contained. So where does that leave us? Right in the middle, of nowhere. Another mind-bending idea comes from Einstein's theory of relativity. According to general relativity, space and time aren't separate entities. They form a single fabric, space-time. And this fabric can stretch, twist, and warp under the influence of mass and energy. So when we talk about the universe having a center, we're assuming space exists independently of time, which modern physics tells us it doesn't. That means the question, where is the center, might need to be rephrased. Perhaps it should be, when did the universe begin? Because according to Einstein's equations, the Big Bang wasn't just the start of space, it was the start of time itself. There is no before the Big Bang, because time didn't exist. So if we want to find the center of the universe, perhaps we should think of it not as a place, but as a moment. The moment of creation, the moment everything began. Modern cosmology gives us several models that challenge the idea of a center altogether. Let's explore a few. The infinite universe model. In this model, the universe extends infinitely in all directions. There's no edge, no boundary, and therefore no center. Think of it like an endless desert. No matter how far you walk, there's no capital city. Just sand in every direction. The multiverse hypothesis. This theory suggests our universe is just one of many, floating in a vast cosmic ocean of other universes. If that's true, then the center of our universe might be irrelevant, like searching for the center of a grain of sand on a beach. The donut-shaped universe, torus model. Some scientists believe the universe could be shaped like a donut, technically known as a toroidal topology. In this model, traveling straight in one direction would bring you back to your starting point, like walking around Earth. If true, the universe would be finite but unbounded, and again, there would be no center. The holographic principle. This radical theory suggests that everything we experience, all three dimensions of space, might actually be a projection from a two-dimensional boundary. Like a movie projected from a screen, the universe might not have depth the way we perceive it. In such a model, the idea of a center becomes even more abstract, perhaps meaningless. Despite all this mystery, scientists continue to study the shape and structure of the universe using powerful tools like the James Webb Space Telescope, the Planck satellite, and supercomputer simulations. They analyze the distribution of galaxies, fluctuations in the cosmic microwave background, the curvature of space, the rate of expansion over time. From these clues, they try to piece together whether the universe is flat, curved, open, closed, or something even stranger. And with each new discovery, we inch closer to understanding the true nature of the universe. Let's rewind even further to the origins of our curiosity. Humans naturally seek orientation. We want to know where we stand, literally and figuratively. It's why ancient maps placed kings and empires at the center. Why religious texts described Earth as the sacred ground of gods. We've always wanted to be at the heart of something. So it's no surprise that we search for a center to the universe. But what if the universe doesn't play by the rules we expect? What if it doesn't need a center? What if the idea of a center is just a human illusion, a product of how our brains evolved to make sense of the world? The universe doesn't owe us a center. It owes us truth, and sometimes truth is strange. So here's a new way to think about it. Instead of asking where the center is, maybe we should ask what the word center even means. In a place where space and time are woven together, an expansion defies intuition. Because if the universe is infinite, there's no edge and no center. If it's curved in higher dimensions, it might loop around, again, with no center. And if it's just one bubble in a multiverse, then our universe might not even be self-contained. So where does that leave us? Right at the heart of the mystery. Because even if we're not at the center of everything, we are at the center of our own understanding. And that's powerful. Because it means we have the power to ask questions and to keep searching for answers. Thanks for watching Orbum, your guide to the universe and beyond. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. And in the comments, tell us, do you believe the universe has a center, or do you think we're asking the wrong question? Don't forget to check out our other videos on the strangest objects in space, the mystery of dark matter, and the possibility of alien life. Until next time, keep wondering, keep exploring, and remember, the universe doesn't need a center, but you're already at the center of your own journey.